Nobody has more passion for playing Canada's favorite game than Dave Gillham. No, he's not an NHL star or even an upcoming junior player, but he's an inspiration on the ice. You see, Dave's an amputee who plays hockey without both of his arms. Our Laura Zilke tonight with his incredible story.
My dad's one of the most phenomenal skaters I've ever met in my entire life.
I always watched him play. I remember growing up going to his games and watching him do moves and then learning, practicing those moves.
I just love the game. I just love being on the ice.
For Dave Gillham, there's only one sport.
I think it's a great game. It's a great sport.
And Dave thought that sport he loves would always be a part of his life.
To him, it's not just a game, it's a passion.
I thought I would never stop playing the game.
But 7 years ago, December 18th, 2003, Dave was working as an electrical lineman, installing new high-power wires when a terrible accident happened. And in a second, everything in Dave's life changed.
I can remember that it was a sunny day.
I started out, my day was going great.
I was 12 years old, grade 7.
The job I was doing was to install a wire that we had just run into the new insulator.
I was just getting up for school, just a normal day.
I didn't realize that the backside of my truck got livened up with the old wire, livened up the whole top of my truck, somewhere around 16,000 volts. I was holding on to one of the controls. I reached over with my other hand to grab the wire, and that was it. It was all over in a second.
It was a pretty shocking thing to see your dad in the hospital.
Never once did I think that the extent of the damage was going to be my father's arms amputated.
The next thing I remember was waking up after I was induced into a coma and finding out what had happened to me.
I looked down at my dad and I put my hand on the bed where his arm should have been, and I looked up at my mom and I just started crying.
No memories of it. And I think that's the best thing.
Electrocuted arm to arm by 16,000 volts. It was a miracle Dave survived, but his injuries were severe. He lost both arms to the shoulder, and now his life is different in a million little ways.
I found out a way to brush my hair by myself. Again, just rooting around the Home Depot. Call that the Sock Installer 7000.
And his life is different in some pretty big ways, too.
Right now I'm in the elbow mode.
The stress of the accident took its toll on Dave and on his marriage.
Just the one thing that was too much for us, and we just couldn't get by it together.
Though his marriage ended, Dave's children have never left his side.
I knew we had an uphill battle to go through to get to where we are today.
We're still together, we're still a family, and if anything, we're stronger than ever.
Dave refused to let his accident keep him from moving forward, but his recovery didn't seem complete until this. Dave is back on the ice.
Well, the first time I stepped on the ice with my team, it was a little awkward.
I was kind of being a little protective, like if someone would bump him a bit, I'd make sure that guy got a bit of payback.
Things are different on the ice. Dave uses his foot to move the puck, but the biggest change might be in the dressing room. For 12 years, Dave taught his son skates. Now it's Jeff's turn.
Makes me a little sad to see my son have to tie my skates for me to help me put on my equipment. But I also look down and I see a young man growing up and taking responsibilities, and that makes me proud. Proud of my son. And I'm proud of my whole family for helping me the way they are.
Puppy! Puppy pizza!
That family includes Dave's 2 energetic grandsons, his daughter Amy's little boys. Both boys were born after he lost his arms, so he's never been able to hold them. That hasn't stopped Dave from passing on his hockey skills, even if the methods are a bit different.
Oh, good goal.
Chopstick.
You know Papa doesn't need a stick.
Dave's fight to hold on to who he is, in spite of what he's lost, has won his children's respect and admiration.
He's got a lot of heart, he's very, very persistent.
Through everything, my dad has shown tremendous courage, tremendous hope. He's my hero.
One day I hope I can be as amazing as he is.
Though he's grateful for what he's got, for Dave, it's still hard not to miss the way things used to be.
It seems like an eternity already since I've been able to hug them or hold them or help them in their ways. But if I had an hour, that's what I'd do. I'd hug my family.